is good, very good time for doing movies. Oh, took last week off going to Whistler. It was fun. I played like a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest, but that's okay. It was still a good time regardless. But we need to do some catch-up. We need to get back on track, get some of these playthroughs done. So we're just going to start going down this list here. We're going to start up with Smoky Ridge. Smoky Ridge? It's a golf course, golf club. I got to see if this stream is even working because on my phone it doesn't seem to be showing up. So let's check here. Oh, it's not. And I know why it's not. Let's check. Oh, it is. Haha. Hooray! Hooray, it works. Okay, there we go. Now we're up and cooking. Let's get into Smoky Ridge. Smoky Ridge has a few different things going on. What are the required elements that they want to do? 1 par 3 greater than 230 yards, 3 par 4s under 400 yards, 1 hole with elevation change equal to or greater than 125 feet. Let's see, this is by Matt V. He says, if you're recording streaming while playing the course, please leave a link in the video VOD here. I would love to see how everybody plays it. Well, lucky you'll be able to do it. Yay, streams! All right, so this is his second course. So looking at this one, we got a guy who appears to be using some shapes going on here. I could be mistaken, but this certainly looks like one that's laid out with shapes. Looks like the fairway's using some shapes. Looks like the bunkers are using some shapes. We've got some, and this is not necessarily a bad thing, so don't take it that way, but we've got, if you look at these bunkers, some bubble kind of look here, which is a little bit of what Andre does occasionally. That's okay. From the tee, doesn't look too shabby. Looks kind of open. We've got a split in the fairway, with this side being the easier side to get to, and this side being the harder side to get to. Which makes me wonder, because I think from an angle perspective, the better angle of approach is probably from this side, which is the easier side to get to. So I'm not sure what this does other than maybe cut off 8 yards. No, not totally forgotten. Oh, and I'm on beginner clubs. Hang on, I gotta back out of here. I'm on beginner clubs. We can't be playing that way. Sorry. No, I was just out of town, stepping over bear poop and whatnot. Don't forget the lob wedge. Okay, we'll go put in a wedge too. Yeah, I'm not seeing a great need for the right fairway there, honestly. Let's see here. What do we want to do? We want to change this to a hybrid and ditch this for the lobber. Yeah, I can live with that. You know what? It wasn't whining. I was just saying I didn't have it. No, we're not doing that. We're going to start over then. Yeah, we'll look at this first hole again here. Let's take a look and see what we think here. Is there a real good purpose over here? And like I said, I guess if the pin's over here, maybe it's a little helpful, but I don't see it really, because even from over here, I've got enough room to the left that the angle is not going to be that much worse. Either way, it is what it is. It exists. You can play to it, and we're off to a rip-roaring start. Oh, don't pity the judges. Screw those guys. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. No! You were careful to say mention. But I don't care. As the person streaming, it's my prerogative to complain about what you said, so I'm going to. You're a jerk, and you should feel bad. Well, I haven't played all of them yet, so we're going to see all these great courses eventually. He's back! Back in the saddle. And I will tell you, my two middle children are having a really good time together today, so I may have to pause occasionally and go murder somebody and then come back. Oh, look, there's a dock over here. Why is there a dock over here? I don't know. That's okay, though. Somebody wants to do some fishing. This is a lovely tee shot, I will say. Very nicely done. I think that you've done a pretty good job in the planting around the outside. It almost goes copy-paste, but it doesn't really, and it still maintains some uniqueness. Also, the way you've used these plants, I think more people should find these plants, because I'm telling you what, from a distance they show up and they look really great as ground cover. The elevation here is subdued. There's not a lot, but it's done pretty well. I like that you've carried the heavy rough in there. I think you could have brought the sand more into play, but overall it's kind of a cool thing. So this is a nice little hole. Nice little hole. This is going to go poorly, but I'm doing it anyway. Ooh, a slow fast. That is not going to go well. Get in the bunker as fast as possible. Thank you. Thank you for finding the sand. Go, 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 go. Stop, 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 stop. He called you W. What up, W? That was good. That was great. We're off to a great start. What's up, Cindy? Cinderreeve. I gotta say, I've liked each of these tee shots. They've all been subdued and yet very pretty. Very pretty. The autumn theme is harder to work in than some people think, and I think you've done a good job. The bunkering, it's going to come with time. The lumpiness back here, you'll be able to sort some of that out. From a distance, it all looks fine, so don't sweat it too much right now. Plays nicely. Smoky indeed, yeah, but I dig it. Smoky does not bother me at all. Transition into that green could have been a little nicer. I like the placement of this bunker here. You could do a little more with elevation in here, but again, just, you know, not bad. Pleasant little hole. Boy, I'm just on the slow fast bandwagon today. Yeah, this is one that does come with time. Like I said, certain things don't. That, I think you'll be okay. Just keep designing, and those things will show up. Lots of folks, all 9 of them. 9 viewers. This hole's fallen a little short of some of the others. I like the routing. I like the placement of the hole. But I think more could have been done with this one. This one's simple. It's pretty, but I think you could have done a little bit more with it. I'm not going to get into details on it, I don't think, but to kind of make it a little cooler. A little cooler. Slow fast again. I am loving that. Blur. I used to make fun of one of my younger brothers because every time he answered the phones, he would say, hello. It wasn't quite that bad, but it always sounded like, hello? Hello? This nice long coming into it. Oh no, it's not the world's smallest green. Like I said, it's a pleasant little hole. I think you could have done more with it. You've done something here that, again, I see people do, and I'm curious about it. I don't know if maybe I'm confused or if I'm just wrong here, but why we make the fairway entrances. I mean, look at this. This is very sloped. It's as narrow, or if not narrower, than any other part of the fairway, and it's angled. And I don't get that. I don't know why we couldn't bring the fairway all the way up here to the left or over to the right. I mean, it's like a layup area for somebody who hits a duffer. Granted, in the video game it doesn't make a difference, but that's okay. A very nice looking tee shot again, with the way you've got the bunkers layered. You can see this one and that far one, and it makes it look more intimidating than it is. Again, the bunker shaping and the distance from the fairway will come a little bit with time. Oh yeah, you know, and like I said, I wasn't going to get into too much detail on that one. I think that we've got some good ideas that are working here, and I think he'll be okay in the long run. Some of the bunker shaping and even the bunker elevation work just needs some time to clean up. Like, if you could figure out how to make these fingers in here stand up or stand out a little bit more, I think you'll go a long way. Well, even the S-bend, though, you can do an S-bend, but from the tee on that one, it didn't matter. The S-bend didn't accomplish too much visually, so I'm wondering why not keep that fairway wider in the entrance. Like, I don't understand why the fairway entries, because even on a straight hole, so many of them have had the beginning of the fairway be way narrower than the rest of the fairway, and I don't understand that. It would seem to be counterintuitive. Oh, there's more to it than that. There's more than one way to skin a cat on bunker fingers. I actually like to do it the opposite way. Go in and then dump the sand down and then bump the fingers a little bit. And you use the flatten tool in the sand gently and the raise tool on the fingers. Again, my rule of thumb, and this isn't always the case, but the general rule is flatten down and raise up. So if you're going to be going down, see what you can do with flatten. If you're going to be going up, flattening up doesn't work all that well. You're better off raising. Again, this bunker, from a scale standpoint and a location angle standpoint, is not great. So that's one bunker you may want to revisit, just as far as the placement goes. I like this. You've done a better job with elevation right here with the shadow. I think you still could have done more, and with this bunker in front too, just made it stand out a little more. But the placement of it I like. The green is a large green, but this is a long hole, and I'm all for it. That's totally fine. So again, I like the holes on this course so far. I appreciate them. They're good. Well, that's good. Use every technique you can think of on the bunkers. I mean, there's no one right or wrong way to do it, and I've used a different method on almost every course. Just try things, you know. But here's an example. Again, the fairway entry is angled and thin. It's not as thin, but you can see it opens up and then it cuts back down again. This one's not quite as egregious as that first one. And I don't mind the fact that you've pushed the bunkers way out there, because it is way downhill and you really wouldn't see anything closer anyway, so that's fine. Kick left. Thank you. Thank you. I like the idea here. I think you could have dialed it up to 11 and it would have been better. Like really, really make this area dip down. This bunker back here, I'm not going to get into too much. I think this bunker's kind of the weakest one I've seen on the course so far. Placement, fine. Execution, not so hot. Still cool, though. Listen to me being all positive.
I'm like a little ray of sunshine. Unicorn farts and puppy breath.
Go, 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 go. Now stop. Thank you. Listen to those birds. Great sound effects. All right, now, the par threes have kind of been the weak point so far to me. And I may be alone in that, but the fours and fives have been all right. Wow, that was a weird push. But the par threes have been okay, just a little underwhelming. A little underwhelming. I don't know how much that's going to break. Nah, I didn't start it out far enough. Haha, look at that. That's what I get for goofing around. All right. Like I said, we're not playing for scores anyway.
Looks like a golden age type hole.
And as we all know, gold is poop. See, this is better. Just look at the fairway scaling. This is a little more what I'd expect to see. You've taken some chances here on the bunkering, and it looks good. I don't know. I think you could have changed it up a little bit there, but from the tee, this is a good-looking tee shot again. Your elevation is nice. Please stay out. Hey, good job. Look at that. That's my well-trained ball. You passed ball training school, which sounds like a horrible thing to go to. The elevation here around the green and bunkers and that is pretty much non-existent, so could have used a little tender loving care here. I do like that the green itself is kind of subtle. Ooh, a slow fast. I switched balls. You don't know it. I threw that ball away. It's a different ball. That ball was Jerry.
Jerry dead. I killed him.
I may get a small visitor here in a minute. I hear my youngest in there whining around. See another one. Like, I would have loved to see this fairway brought over all the way to here probably. I think it would have been a better view. And what you could do is simply, leave this area back here mounted up, and visually it'd look fine, but bring the fairway in a little closer along the bottom. This up here ain't so hot. I get the idea. I just don't like it as much. Look at him being sneaky here. He's like, I'm just going to give him a little fairway over here just in case they feel the need. I felt it. I felt that need. And it worked. Yeah, oh no, this is not a bad course at all. There are some really good hole ideas here. I like them. I think some of them could have been executed a little better. I think the bunkering here is a little lackluster in that just the sculpting could be handled a little better. And the entries into these greens don't flow really, really well. All right, I guess we're just doing a partial shot here. Tweaks would be a good thing, absolutely. I think it's a good use of the theme, which is good. But I, I don't know that I agree with that 100% because I feel like on the first few holes he did pretty well with his bunkering, and then we've kind of fallen off a little bit, and I'm not sure why. This is another par 3 where the concept's okay, but again, it's just kind of fallen flat a little bit for me. Because bunkering, there's more to bunkering than just shaping. There's so much to it. Bunker placement is more difficult than people think. Bunker shape, bunker depth, bunker layering, bunker elevation. Well, and that's one reason I still say what you want to do when you lay out a hole. I get the folks who want to work off a flat plot and lay everything out and then elevate. I don't think that's a great way for people who are just starting off to go. I think you're better off find your hole location. Go ahead and mark, your tee and your green. Then do a lot of your big elevation work before you put down anything. Anything. Use the measuring tool to figure out kind of where everything's going to be a little bit as far as just the fairway, the shots you're going to take. Then do some elevation work so you can kind of see from the tee the overall layout of the hole. Once you do that, honestly, that's when I start laying bunkers, is before any of the other stuff, really. You've got to lay on your bunkers, figure out where they're going to go. And you can even prepare the land for the bunkers a little bit. Start moving the land around a little bit. Picture where you want the sand. Then put in some of the sand. And you can't always do all the elevation work at that time, but you can do some of it. But then you start working, where your green's going to be. Where's the fairway going to be? But placing hazards first is generally a good rule. Yeah, you do your elevation, but while you're doing elevation, keep in mind where those things are going to be, because you can do some of the work ahead of time. But laying the play area first and then putting hazards around it is not a great way to do it. I mean, if you want to design that in your head, fine. But when you're actually putting it down, put the hazards down first. My opinion. I think you'll be more pleased with the outcome than otherwise. Yeah, the mix of bunkering here is a little off-putting, but that's okay. And again, from an angle perspective, I don't see the benefit of going over here. Like, what does this do for me? It may get me a little closer, but I don't see that it's going to accomplish a whole lot. Because again, my angle from over there, I mean, even looking at the way the green slopes, I don't see any real benefit. Run. Run! Yeah, I can't do that, Dylan. I have to fiddle with the plot, kind of what I want things to look like, and then I go in and find the hole. If I can find the first hole, then the rest usually takes off from there. I've tried sketching out on paper, and what I have found is that all it does is stifle me. Like, it can look great on paper, but then when I try to put it in the game, the scaling is never quite right, and it never really captures exactly what I want. So I might take some ideas from paper, but they always are going to change once we get into the designer. Oh, that's not crazy at all. We don't like it rough. I actually, not on an entire course, but I have before put the sand down and then moved it entirely. Yeah, I'm not paying any attention now. Moved it entirely, done sculpting, and then put sand back in. In fact, on that par 3 course, the Bridges at Paradise Cove, I've been sculpting all those bunkers without the sand in them. And it's working pretty well. Yes, dear. You're going to have a pretend campfire? That sounds cool. Okay, would you shut the door, please? Hey, no. You need to shut the door, dear. Okay, we're going to try something really silly. This will be fun. Better than I thought. Better than expected. You know, I hope when they say they're having a fake campfire that it's like really, really fake and not just like, hey, let's start a fire in our room. Again, just look at this fairway and explain it to me. I don't understand why there couldn't be fairway like clear out to over here. Imagine how much better that would look. You know, even slope down left to right. I don't know. I just think it would have been nicer. You could have made this fairway super wide and you wouldn't have changed the way this hole played very much. So far, and I'm not sure what you guys think, I think the strongest holes on this have been the early ones so far. The rest aren't bad, but I feel like those first few holes were really going somewhere special, and then it kind of petered off a little bit. Yeah, but being stymied by the trees, see, here's the thing. If you extend the fairway over there, it doesn't mean it's a good place to play. It just means, hey, you've got some options, you've got some places to play. If you want to be in the fairway, I mean, you can play it safe and come back here, but being stymied by the trees, that's just a choice you're making. I mean, the player has an option at that point. I like this little eyeball thing over here. See, this is a good way to narrow things down. You see, we've kept it pretty wide, you've got a lot of space, but then if you want a challenge up here, you're going to have to take on some cross fairway stuff. I like the way you've sloped into the water here. You did a good job there. That's not easy to do for a lot of folks, including me. I don't like sloping into water. Is not an exciting thing for me. Slow. Seems good. Seems reasonable. Yeah, the rest of the course is fine. It's good. I just feel like you had something really good going on. Yes. Go ahead, son.
Maybe Reg? Oh,
No. No, I don't need marshmallows all over everything. Okay. Be careful with sharpened sticks in my house. Please don't. Okay. Good. Shut the door, please. Thank you. Yeah, that's true for a lot of folks. I find myself falling into the same thing where mine can peter out sometimes. Yes, dear.
No, just
Okay, well, I'll have to come take care of that in a minute. She put poop in a cup. Okay, did somebody take the dog poop and throw it away? Has anybody cleaned it up? Okay. Okay, would you please shut the door the way I have asked you to 3 times now? Thank you. I'm so glad that my children are picking up dog poop and putting it in a cup. And I'd get upset at my dogs, but they're both like 15 years old, and I don't think they can control it anymore. So I'm just going to have to deal with it until they die, which hopefully is tomorrow. Yes, I just said that. Smoky Ridge Golf Course. I'll tell you what, for second course, that's a good job. You've got some good ideas there. Those first few holes especially, the visuals were good. You had some good looks off the tee. Some of the bunkering will come. Some of the split fairways were a little forced in spots. If you're going to do split fairways, I think maybe you were just thinking of distance and not as much of angles, which probably should be the reverse. Angle should be in more consideration. I think like a lot of people, expanding the early fairway instead of only worrying about the landing zones, it's just overlooked a lot. So pay attention to the early fairway too, because it can do a lot for a hole visually without really affecting the difficulty of play at all. So I tell you what, that is Smoky Ridge. I think next we're going to go to, I'm just going to go down this dumb list is what I'm going to do, I think. Yeah, let's do that. We'll do Maydays. Nikita Pines, Naked Pines, whatever that is. But I'm going to stop the stream for a minute, and then I will come right back in just a second. All right, thank you.